1 2.
Everybody in the 1 2 1 2.
So we'll just kick it off there, and then we can just start. We can just cut it from wherever.
Sick. Yeah, dude.
Hit me with these dogs, daddy.
Hit me with the dogs, daddy.
Hit me with them dogs, daddy.
Hit me with that dog, daddy.
You got the joke?
Huh?
You got the jokes?
I got it. Oh yeah, what have I got?
Hit me with them dogs, daddy.
Hit me with them dog, daddy. So, what's up with Elon Musk? Do they call him that because he has some sort of earthy, woody note to his odor?
I like it.
I like that.
I like that.
I like that. Yo, I like that. I like that. I like that. Yeah,
What's
that's basically what I've written all week.
What's up with Elon Musk? What is he, gay?
What's up with Elon Musk? What
more
is he? More like elongated rectum Musk. I don't even know if that's a thing. Is it elongated?
If it's not, then I don't have anything to worry about. More like
lonely man.
Elon.
More like
Elon.
Bust.
Elon bust.
More like Elon Bust.
What he just busts early.
He busts.
He just busts into the girls' locker room at
It tries to show him his Tesla, which is the code for his penis. Elon.
How good would that be if you just like named your car company after your penis? You just named my car company Mr. Small. Mr. doesn't work.
Oh, where is it?
More
Where is
like-
it? Cars. It's named after my penis.
It's named after. Get hard. Do it. Watch that episode of Seinfeld the other day.
Yeah,
where
dude, you got that. Yeah, I just got a new car. What'd you get? I got a get it hard. Come on, do it. Why you got it? Why you got it first for my friends?
How good would it be if my penis actually worked though? At least then one of us would work.
Hey-oh.
I don't have a job, daddy. What do we got? A leak in here?
Ooh.
Oh, that's some brown fluid.
Oh, it's got like Playboy Cardi leaks or something like that.
We got
we got like a leak in here. We got like a leak.
Playboy, more like Playboy Hardy.
I like that.
Playboy Hardy.
Playboy Hardy.
And he just has a hard time getting his penis erect. Wouldn't that be ironic if you had a hard time getting your penis erect?
And you called yourself Playboy Hardy. And
Playboy.
women are obviously it's assuming that you have a very
hard
penis.
But on the contrary.
No, yeah, it's actually quite wrong. And you'll have to almost explain to them each time. Be like, yeah, no,
hey, I'm Playboy Hardy. Oh, nice to meet you, Playboy Hardy. Whoa, it's not what you think. I actually have a hard time getting an erection.
Which almost can work in describing it like that.
I just flew in
Hardy,
here and boy, are my arms sore from trying to make my penis hard on the plane. I had a hard time doing such. I actually had a question for you. So I was just at the gym.
Sick.
I was doing the bench press.
Who's Jim?
That's
That's a great one.
it's a great joke.
Always, I was in the gym. Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah. What were you doing?
I was just doing the bench press, and I had
press.
like
What's his name?
more like
Like-
Brett Haberfield,
More like
my personal trainer who has been sexually abusing me. I don't think this is actually I don't think this is like a barbell squat.
More like my mother-in-law's a wench.
More like barbell squint because I have semen in my eye. Oh yeah, so I had this question.
Yeah.
I was doing
Having
my
gay
personal
sex with a
trainer.
man. Oh yes.
No. I was doing the bench press, and like I went down. It was like the 10th rep of this set,
Yeah.
and it got to my chest, and all I could picture was like penises,
Oh, okay.
and like. Why is that? Anytime I go to the gym or I'm not at the gym, I'm just picturing penises. Like, what is it about the gym, or not being at the gym, or just being in any
Any
circumstance?
circumstances that I actually just keep on fantasizing about.
Yeah,
penises.
it's something about the bench press that just makes me like
It
fantasize.
makes me, about having like a committed relationship with another man. Maybe like going on dates together, like going together on like an apartment or something, like in Surrey Hills.
Yeah.
Maybe like Alexandria, kind of a little bit of a very open-minded neighborhood.
How good would it be just being like a vigilante, like super buff gay man, and you could just go to places and just be walking down the street with your that super buff boyfriend, just holding hands, and just like people yelling out shit, and you're just like,
Have you seen those buff couples?
no, what are we talking? Like a Terry Crews and like Vin Diesel kind of.
I'm trying to see. Let's see. I can't. I think I may follow some, but there's some buff couples out there.
What about Tom Hardy? But he.
That's a problem getting. Oh, here we go. This guy's a buff. Where's this boy?
Where this boy at? Show me that boy.
Let's see. Where are these couples?
So just while we're finding these couples, I'd like to shout out our sponsor, Tom Hardy.
He has a hard time getting aroused.
What do they?
Yeah, imagine these dudes get up to you. That would be wild.
That is not
Yeah.
even real.
That's insane. There's some big boys.
These are some buff boys.
There's some buff boys.
See, like that'd be pretty awesome. Just going around and like defending the youth of that town with
Be
your
like,
gay prowess.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
No, really, just stop it.
Stop it.
Or being like a Frank Ocean when Frank Ocean's talking about like he's gay but he could fuck your bitch.
Could he though?
I've talked to her about it. Yes, definitely.
Because my girlfriend's a Christian. She don't play with no sodomites.
A Christian missionary. Is that why they called that?
Why they called missionary? Is it because they like that sexual position? Is it?
Well, like, was it a chicken or egg kind of situation?
Were they legitimately called Christian missionaries because they liked missionary position?
Or is that like a derogatory term? Everyone else is like mixing it up. Cowgirl, doggy.
You know, it's that side position.
What do you call that?
What do you call that?
The Russian. Belvedere.
What do you call that? Don't tell your parents. They call that. If you tell anyone, I'll kill you. No, seriously, I'm gonna kill your dog if you tell anyone.
I'd be really scared about having kids and remarrying in this day and age, because if they have step siblings, it's like their dream come true. They're like, "Thank you, Dad." Thank you, Daddy.
No, thank you, Daddy.
I'm like, no.
That'd be nice. My new brother Scott is quite handsome. I can watch him get changed for school in the morning.
Like, that would be nuts. Oh, even imagine if the kids had hooked up at school or something like that, and then the parents get married. You know what I mean? Because then it's like you're in a house with them.
Everyone's busting.
It's all
Bust House. Previously on Bust House, everyone was busting. I didn't even.
And no one's related.
Yeah,
Except
no
for,
one's
like,
technically.
like a father and son, and like a mother and daughter.
Yeah, I wonder how you could kind of like go back and forth, like almost have like some sort of orgy in that situation.
Well, you couldn't, could you?
Come on, son, we're gonna go into town on your mom's and a daughter. Imagine if that just straight up happens. You're a man who remarries another woman. You have a son. She has a daughter, and you're just all straight up attracted to each other.
Would you tell them, like, no, you can't do that?
What if that happened and you
But you're getting
cheat?
pootie tang, Dad. Where's
You
mine?
I want some tang in this house. You can't be the only one getting tang in this house. I want some tang too.
Imagine,
I want to get some
imagine-
tang as well.
imagine you sit down.
You
with
can't be
them-
the only one getting tang in this house.
Imagine you sit down with them and like, you can't do this, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You get up to go get some like a glass of water in the
Yeah.
middle of the night and see like your son's doors open. He's not in there. And you're like, oh come
Come
on,
on,
man.
And he's like stuck. And he's like, oh, Dad.
It's not.
Wait, that's not how it works.
It's not how the
son.
bus house operates. But imagine even like a collection of kids. Say it's like the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch could have been smashing, couldn't they? They're not all related.
More like the getting brainy bunch, getting brainy bunch,
Getting Brady Bunch.
getting brainy bunch. More like the Brady. I have a hunch that my son's homosexual and he's not coming out to me. He's not being 100% with me right now.
More like the Brady Crunch. I have a crunch bar up my anus.
More like Brady. I skipped lunch because I'm having gay sex later tonight, and I've already douched out. I don't really want to have anything to kind of mess up my whole thing going on.
Yeah, the douche thing is funny. Like anal's too much work.
Yeah.
It draws you right out of the moment.
Does it?
Like things are getting frisky, and it's like I'll be right back, and
I'll
then the
be right
girl's gone
back.
for like
Oh yeah.
10 minutes because she's flushing out her booty hole.
Because she's making phone calls to her father and be like, I think he might be gay. I don't know why he wants to do this. Your sodomite would do this. Father, I need you.
Sodomy.
What are you trying to do with my daughter? Huh?
Sodomy, more like
You
my
wanna-
son to be's going to try and have sex with my daughter when I marry his father.
You one of them fairy boys. You one of them fairy boys I read about in my books.
Imagine your son is massive and like back in the day, you've got a real problem with your son being gay. And he like brings home his boyfriend. They're both massive and jacked.
We're just gonna upload a photo of these two dudes as like the episode as well, so everyone will
guys
know
are-
what we're talking about.
This is insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's what we need. They need to be like the gatekeepers of
Gatekeepers. Am I right?
RuPaul's Drag Race. More like Blue Balls Drag Race. And they just tell a joke that they told the other day.
More like Dragon Ball Z.
Oh.
They're like at a latex ball. I've done that joke probably on episode 13.
Actually, I watched the final episode of RuPaul's Drag Race
Yeah.
with my chica because she likes.
What about Two Smalls? Stag. Having to wear lace underwear because it's the only thing that kind of gets me going.
RuPaul's drag face, and they're just dragging someone by their feet, so their face is dragging along the ground.
I like that because they're going to beat them up for being
Black.
dressing like. Oh, what were you saying?
We watched the final episode, and it was like the final episode of like one of the series or
So
whatever.
you're actually watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of girls that force their boyfriends to watch that show.
She puts up with so much shit from me watching shit that I want to watch.
You're watching Jordan Peterson. You're watching Daily Wire.
I feel like it's what. No, I'm watching like podcasts and shit like that.
Oh, she has to watch it.
She doesn't have to, but she does, and like
It's
puts up with it and whatever.
We've watched Joe Rogan for 12 hours. Can we watch one show?
No, I want to hear about cowbells. No, I love cowbells.
Cowbells.
We're watching that, and like it's just such a reality show. I think it's more like Keeping Up with the Kardashians than it is.
Oh, really?
Have you seen an episode?
No, I'm not a RuPaul's Drag Race, but instead of a D, it's an F.
Frag.
Frag grenade.
Kill confirmed.
Claymore.
Yeah, but like it's like it's definitely a nice sentiment. It's all like about like acceptance of self and shit like that. And these people, the one that won, I think they won because they were the most bullied for
Oh.
kind of being a gay person and kind of like fighting against that.
Yeah.
So
So it's just that jacked, one of those jacked dudes
Yeah.
we saw. I'm
gonna win, man.
I'm gonna win.
Be real shame if I didn't. Be a real shame.
It'd be a real shame. It's like you have to do some sort of drag.
You got
can't
kids
just
rule?
you can't just wear like a tank top and expect to win this competition. okay. He's through to the next round, everyone.
But yeah. It was interesting to watch it, but I was thinking about that. And
because you were fantasizing about it, and
I was like, yes, it's nice to see my fantasies played out on a big stage.
This is what I'm thinking about it when I'm in the shower in the morning.
But whatever, I'm not like the target market for it. So I'm not like, this show sucks or whatever. Like, it's probably good. I can understand why people would like it.
Yeah.
Can
It's
understand
just drama. It's like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like it's...
But it's like a game show too. It's like Australian Idol or whatever.
Oh, true.
So you have seen it?
Yeah. No, I haven't. But
yeah,
I just assume something like that would happen in the show, and maybe the contestants have to go through a...
Why are you texting compromise right now? To Blue Balls Drag Race. Yeah.
I've definitely not seen it. Anyway.
But I was thinking about it, and like they've got jokes on there and whatever. But the thing is, I was thinking about it. It's not offensive in any way, other than unless you didn't have those ideals and values. Like
Unless you're a straight white Christian hetero male.
If you were like, if you did have a problem with gay people, that's the only way that you could have a problem with this show.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking about like Come Town, for instance.
Yes.
Which is just so offensive by nature. Like, so many people could just watch that and be like, oh, that's actually like hate speech or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But RuPaul's could not be misconstrued as hate speech.
What about Guntown and Nick Mullen brings a gun to the podcast and scares everyone.
And shoots himself.
And shoots himself in front of them both.
It's like, I think we should put this episode on Facebook Live. Yeah, but
yeah.
So I mean, like something like that, like this podcast Come Town, and like they're always joking about. Oh, this podcast could definitely be misconstrued as like offensive because there are people like within a demographic that are like, oh, that actually hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
Whereas RuPaul's, I don't think, like if it does hurt your feelings, I don't think you have good values. But you could have good values, listen to this podcast, and have hurt feelings.
I just read the Bible, and I'm sorry that used to mean something. And I just like the Bible, that's all.
Did it say you couldn't be? Oh, I guess they said what? Man cannot
Dress up in drag and have a competition based on it. That was literally in the 10 Commandments, written by Jesus Christ. He wrote that at his desk.
He wrote that at his desk.
He was a commodore, wasn't he?
Oh, but then that kind of train of thought led me to, can you be offensive if you fall into these categories? Like I was trying to think.
Yeah.
I was trying to
you
think.
You were gay.
I was trying to
make fun of it.
Well, like name one female offensive comedian.
Sorry, female is actually an offensive term.
Oh, sorry.
Male.
Broads.
Male.
Name one female comedian that's offensive.
Oh, there's merely heaps.
Nah.
There's
Not
heaps.
Nah.
Heaps.
Name
Joan
one.
Rivers, Sarah Silverman,
What did
Amy
they do that was
Schumer.
offensive? Oh, well, but I mean, like the more marginalized.
Must be kind of
you
like
are-
racy stuff.
The more marginalized you are, the harder it is to be offensive. Like if you're a black, like trans woman who was like Jewish.
That's Amy Schumer, right? But if you fell in that group, it would be
More difficult for you to be offensive because you say shit and people are like, yes. Like if there was a gay,
Yes.
if there was a gay comedian that was going in on someone and just being like, fuck this guy
Yeah.
for X, Y, Z, everyone would be like, woo.
Yas Queen.
I don't think any of these comedians that we listen to, or even on this podcast, I don't think we'd be like, fuck that person, blah, 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 blah. But even still, the shit that we do say, we're not inciting any kind of hatred.
Speech, definitely not.
Not on the podcast.
Yeah,
anyway.
not on the in the meetings and everything like that. If you do want to come down to the
But you hear what I'm saying? Like,
Hillary
I feel
Hotel in
like
Redfern.
you could listen to a particular. You could listen to who, I don't know, like a. Yeah, it's more difficult for those other people to be offensive.
In
So I
certain
think I've
groups.
finally found the good thing about being a white man. The one perk that we have is that we can make offensive comedy.
I thought you couldn't.
No, we're the only ones that can.
Because no one's
Because
going to
we're
get
not
offended.
marginalised.
You're not going to get literally like a round of applause when you say like
Yeah. Yeah.
Jewish
If I-
people responsible for 9/11.
Yeah, people will be
Yeah.
like, ooh.
Yeah, but if like a trans black woman did it, she's like, yes, queen,
Everyone will be like,
get
yes.
them, get on their ass.
Exactly. So
Yes.
that's like why. I
Unless-
mean, that's why both of us can like we're actually offensive.
Unless you did drag.
What
If
do
we
you,
just both straight up did drag,
what do you mean did?
if we let people know that we do drag, we could probably get away with a lot more.
I'd still rather not let them know.
Imagine we just like get like a gig on RuPaul's Drag Race because everyone assumes we do drag, and everyone's like, no, we've never seen them do it. Yeah, we do it. Like, yeah, but like on the weekends, like we're not going to do it.
But do you hear what I'm saying? Does this
It's like
track?
just show a photo of like some girl in drag. It's like, yeah, that's me. It's like, can I look at that longer? Yeah, that's me. Anyway,
Oh, that looked like a picture of Amy Schumer. I know, I'm pretty good at it. But my point being, I think it's more difficult to... Well, you can attack other groups and whatever, but I think the thing is being the least marginalized,
yeah,
straight white male,
which we are.
then we can... Kareem, you're not straight.
I know.
But I mean, no, but even then, like, you could get away with more than I could, and people would just be like, oh, okay.
I feel I do get away with a lot more, and it's kind of the whole
Funny.
thing of like even like the
And that's what I'm saying. I'm privileged. I finally found the one thing where it's good to be a white male. I'm segregated in every other place in my life.
But are you not getting? Don't think you're getting away with it though. You're like, it's harder to be offensive. That wouldn't be a privilege to.
Well, it's easier to be offensive. I can say stuff and have people go, "Ooh."
You'd be like my
Very
wife, and you'd be like,
easy.
well, what do you mean wife? Why can't she be speaking?
Why? Yeah,
How come here she can't be on stage?
because she's locked up.
She beat my kids to death. She's
Because she's deaf for that gun I keep firing next to her ear.
But yeah, I guess if your sole purpose was to be like elicit the response of like an offended audience, that would be a privilege. Do you know what I mean?
I'm doing a bit, clearly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, it's not... I don't want to actually
What bit?
offend people. But... Yeah, I feel like other people could get away with it.
You can get away with murder. Like I feel, yeah. Again, if we both had like, if we're doing a set, if we both had the same set, you would probably get the yous and ours.
But you're still getting that because you're talking about stuff that... Like...
But I think it's harder for them to kind of jump on it
With me?
with me.
Harder
Like I
to
think
jump
they're
on it.
more willing to jump on it with you because it's like the natural response.
Jump
but I
on
think-
what? The ooh?
Jump on the yous. But I think with me, like they have to kind of really,
Think about it more.
they got to think about it more. So, oh wait,
Rationalise
I
it.
want to go, oh, but should I?
Because I want to see you on their side.
I know, like Black Lives Matter. Black squares up.
Well, I mean, like, even... What's that dude's name that rides with Chappelle?
No, Neil Brennan.
So, like... I'm sure he's written, like, quite a few bits on the show.
Yes,
And they're all very much...
but Neil Brennan's basically like a black guy.
But my point being, Chappelle is the voice for that. And there's a reason for that.
True.
Like, no matter how funny this dude is,
Neil Brennan can't do
Chappelle
like
is the right person to say it.
the N-word family. Can't do
Yeah.
the black white supremacist.
Yes.
He can't do all that stuff. Even though I think he actually legitimately came up with those bits.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, he can say them. He has...
He can say it today.
Chappelle can say them. Yeah.
Yeah. But Neil can kind of come up with them. But he like you can use him as like a conduit or whatever. But
What's a conduit?
kind of like someone to go through to actually do the idea. Like I guess he could
Yeah.
never do that idea himself, even though he came up with a funny bit.
No, he couldn't do them himself.
He could potentially do it on stage though.
Just the reaction would be completely different.
It could be hilarious though. That's
Could be
the-
hilarious, but for a different reason.
But I guess you have to angle it differently because again, it's
Yeah,
like at the end of the day,
100%.
Chappelle can kind of just be straight up. He can use certain words without anyone finding it offensive. He can really play into certain stereotypes.
Yeah.
But it's almost like an acting role when it comes to a skit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Neil Brennan could never act like a black white supremacist. It just wouldn't work because it's like a racial thing, and he's not a black character, so like, he could never play that role.
I wonder if because of like all the kind of like the fetishization, like in the porn industry
Yeah,
of like black people, especially.
yeah.
I wonder if in the future there's gonna be like white black supremacists. It's gonna be like they're just better. They're just better at fucking my wife.
I think that already exists though.
I think it does, but they don't
Yeah.
have that title.
Yeah, white black supremacists.
Yeah.
He can't read, but he can make love to my wife a little bit better.
And the black guy's like, yeah, I actually can read. It just makes him a lot more comfortable if I
I act a little bit dumb. It's like, oh yes, sir, I'm here to pleasure your wife. Like it, but actually, I'm actually from Essex. But to him, it's just a paycheck. Do you know what I mean? I actually enjoyed. She's a very beautiful woman, but and I stop the whole facade as soon as I get in the bedroom with her. I'm like, hello, Heather. We'll get back to making love. And yeah, we meet for coffee as well, and that's usually where I actually get her off the most.
Isn't that crazy? The whole that like. Is there like Reddit pages of this kind of stuff? Do you think?
What kind of stuff? There's Reddit pages on everything.
But like these specific people being like in worship.
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah. I've seen some weird Reddit. Everything's on subreddit. There's a subreddit for everything, like for every fetish. But it'd fall under kind of like a cuck thing.
Oh, true.
Yeah, like a just pretty straightforward, like cuck page, and it's very prevalent like in America, and when all those the riots and everything were happening.
Do you think it has like? Do you think it is a racist thing? Like it has racial.
Oh yeah, racial undertones. I guess it would have to.
But like, where does that come from?
Yeah, I think it comes with like a physicality thing. Like I think a lot of the time, like you just have a group of people who are like more physically dominant than another group. Do you know what I mean? And just because of that, that's going to cause issues. Like again, if black people were all pretty average height, then I don't think there would be the same sort of weirdness. Because again, you find all these sports, like even just when it comes to like athletics, basketball, most physical sports are like just dominated by African American or African people of African descent. And I think that's always going to be an issue because of, just like straightforward, they're a little bit more physically dominant. And I think because that exists, there's going to be issues. Like again, if the NBA was literally
like a big
like
white
half-half.
person is more of an outlier.
Yes.
Rather than the, what would you call it?
Like a ripped black guy.
The regular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like again, if you go to even kind of like just the average black person in America, even kind of in Australia, would kind of have better genetics, kind of muscle-wise, of the sport. In America in particular, because there was like all the breeding, all the
why is
race
that?
breeding done to make them like bigger and more powerful. So you
That's
get
actually
like,
why.
Yeah.
Really?
Like LeBron James is a product of slavery because you'd get the biggest woman and the biggest man to mate together, so you would have an even more powerful slave. And then you would get that powerful slave and like the powerful female.
You mean for real?
100%.
Wait, have you looked into this? Or is
Yeah,
this
this is straight up the truth.
You've looked into this.
Yeah.
This isn't just.
This is
like
this is just knowledge. Like LeBron James shouldn't exist in nature. A guy that big and that powerful is literally the product of slavery.
I wonder if.
And that's why it's so kind of awkward still.
What do you mean?
Kind of like the fact that he exists and the fact that like the NBA is so dominated by these tall and very powerful African American people is directly because of what happened during slavery. And their literal existence and their physicality is like, as a white guy, you can be like, yeah, we did that, do you?
Wait, what did you just say?
We did that to you. I'm like the reason.
Oh.
I'm the reason LeBron James is so powerful because my grandfather would have mated the male and female as the most powerful and strongest ones together.
But I guess that's like a group of people. It's kind of like I would liken that to, so the we've got the patriarchy.
Yeah.
God bless it.
Yeah. Sick.
We've got the patriarchy, and then the women that perform to the male gaze are the ones that succeed
Yes.
to an extent. Which
It's
is
so funny,
which
like
is so interesting.
So many friends I have hate that. And
Oh,
they're
I
kind
hate
of
it.
all falling to it. They're like, I just don't know what to do. That seems to be my only option.
Yeah,
is to
it's
kind of
fucked.
get a rich guy. Like,
Or even just like, I mean, it's so confusing now because it's so interwoven within feminine ideals.
yeah.
Is like if I shave my legs, my underarms, I wear makeup in a certain way, if I work out these parts of my body that men are attracted to and whatever, then that's how I succeed.
Yes.
Because that is like the standard.
Mm.
Whereas that same thing, but then what's really fucked up about it is other girls can look at that and be like, yes, queen.
Yeah,
Get it.
and they all do.
Get it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that girl is really working hard to do that and be that model, which fits the male gaze. So it's like prostitution, for example, on a mass scale. And that's what it is. Girls have to spend like an extra, they have to wake up earlier than boys to get ready for school.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Because I don't want to look at any uggos
It's so
when I'm in
fucked.
class.
It's cool.
Excuse me, Stephanie. James is not really finding you attractive right now. Can you please run to the bathroom and touch yourself up a little bit?
Well, you know what? I mean, like, that's what the other girls tell that girl. 100%. And those girls get segregated for being that woman that can, like, or for being that girl, that young girl that stands up against that.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's kind of different from what we were talking about a minute ago, but it's the same kind of thing. We have this situation, and the way to kind of, like, pimp your existence to win it is to perform to these people who have set the terms. And then the only way against that is, like, I don't know.
I feel it's completely changing, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it's completely...
Well,
Hey-o.
yeah, I agree with you. That's 100%. It has to change.
Yeah, like,
It has
again,
to.
nowadays, if you do live in, like, the inner west and you shave your underarms, you're going to be exiled from the community. You'd be like, what are you, like, some... feeding into these pigs.
Well, that's...
What these pigs like.
Think about this, right? Like,
What if women just started kind of covering up their genitalia, got surgery to, like, cover it over?
what turned into like a Barbie side.
Barbie side. That could be like a new movement. Oh, she's still got a mouth, though. What'd that mouth do?
Yeah.
But I feel like, again, it is kind of, in certain communities and certain kind of groups, it's looked down upon for girls that act like that. They kind of do themselves up to please men.
Well, that's fucked up too, because it's like the oppression that they face will be awarded to the people that conform to it.
Yeah.
So then if you were to fight against it, it's a sacrifice. You're probably going to lose. You're going to lose out on a lot of things.
I guess.
You're going to lose out on job opportunity, on like even making friends with other women, with a lot of men. All these things are like built into these people.
I do think it's changed so much, though. Like, again, in most industries, you can't get a job unless you have, if you've, like, kind of shaved your head as a woman, unless you are not wearing a bra. Do you know what I
it's
mean?
even like it's even like, I mean, like I just saw like a Facebook post, this WOC,
Yeah.
like, going out against, just saying how she had been told, like by letting her hair out, her naturally frizzy hair,
Yeah.
that was unprofessional.
Which it is. I don't want no clowns in my damn workspace. What, I'm under hire Ronald McDonald, I'll go to McDonald's.
It'd be fine if I wasn't sitting behind her in a damn movie theater. I can't see shit about Judas and the Black Messiah. Trying to learn about Fred Hampton up in this bitch.
It's so funny when I go to like a play or a movie or something like that, and I literally like have the seat in front of like a small couple, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Come on, man."
It's funny when I do that too, and I just wear shirts and the back of them has like racist profanities on them. And I always just happen to sit in front of people that would be especially offended by that.
So what? I went to Schindler's List at like the what's it called, the outdoor cinema, and wore like 6 million not enough.
What about Schindler's Lisp?
I think that's.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
What about Schindler's List? I'm Joe List. Hey, what's the deal with airplane food?
What about Schindler's Wrist? And he's just got a fat Rolex. He's like, it's time to save some Jews.
Yo, Shmuel, get off me, man. You're scratching the Patek. It's the Patek. Look at this. It's water. It's like putting. You don't know nothing about this. You know nothing about this. You know nothing about this.
You do not know anything
You
about
do not know anything. Oh, that'd be so
You
funny.
do not know anything about this.
Imagine just like in the street, just like random passers by. You just have a water bottle in your watch, and you're just like pouring water all over it. You're like, you have no idea what I'm doing right now. You don't know anything about this.
What do you think about Lewis's thing about wearing like just baggy shirt, baggy like trackies, nice shoes, and like a watch?
There's something really to it.
I dig that.
It's very. It's also very new money at the same time.
So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but like it's people that actually have money most likely won't wear an expensive watch or expensive shoes. They legitimately, yeah. I think
you don't think like a young fellow would wear that? I think a young fellow would definitely.
Again,
wear
new money. Old money do not care about any of that stuff. They probably just care about real estate. They wouldn't have any real material things. They would most likely have like maybe like a $500 watch. They're so far removed from money that they don't even think about it anymore. And that's the thing. The fact that someone is thinking about what they're wearing, it's like, I'm going to wear these nice shoes and nice watch because that's going to kind of still show that I have money, shows that they're not really comfortable in themselves.
But it shows that they earned that and grew a business or whatever. Like it's a physical representation.
Yeah, true.
Of success.
True, but I feel like proper success, you don't necessarily have to flaunt it. That's like,
I mean, but to be included in those conversations and whatever.
Like Mark Zuckerberg would not have nice shoes or a nice watch. Probably, and he wouldn't be carrying anything on him that's nice. He'd most likely have like a. Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. All these tech guys are literally autistic.
Yeah.
And autistic people do not care about material possessions.
Yeah, true.
At all. He would literally have like a Billabong, like what's it called, Velcro wallet. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you had to put money on that, I'm pretty sure Mark Zuckerberg's wallet does not cost more than $30.
Right.
And his house wouldn't be that amazing either. It'd
Yeah.
be just pretty straightforward. Best idea is again being autistic. And again, with the whole tech boom, you've got people like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, all these characters that are straight up autistic. And they're going to have really different ways of spending their money. Also, yeah, there was a thing about the whole movement with kind of AI and this new cryptocurrency in general is going to completely change the world to a point where probably the top 1,000 wealthiest people will all be autistic.
Wait, have you read something on this? Or is
Like
this...
no, straight, because just that field's going to take over absolutely everything. You're not going to have the flamboyant, over the top, like real estate, or even oil types. They're no longer going to kind of be the ones at the top of the list.
It's going to be people that can
literally kind of can code and are able to kind of like program computers.
Well, maybe that's a good thing.
It is also a very good thing.
But also maybe terrible because they might be too far removed from emotion.
And that's because you're going to have this thing where it's like probably like 50 years ago, you would have these characters, even kind of like the Great Gatsby types, maybe like 100 years ago, that would spend all their money. They would have these grand palaces. they would have, like, let's say, made their money in real estate or in oil or something like that, iron ore, and they would be so over the top with their money. Nowadays, or what's going to happen in probably the next 15 years, you're going to have these autistic guys who legitimately will kind of keep reinvesting their own money into different projects. And we're just going to have more and more progression in society.
I never thought. I mean, the most tantalizing idea about money for me is to just have this modest place, like a real nice kind of space where I can muck around and do, like, pursue creative things and whatever.
Yeah.
But just this little kind of space where it's comfortable.
Who's Creative Things? What's his name?
And then be able to, like, look at a bank account and there's just like X amount in there.
Yeah.
It's like living well within your means.
Yeah,
very,
exactly.
very well within your means.
Yeah.
But I never thought about. I mean, I am kind of autistic in that way myself. Like, I never ever think about.
You
like,
wouldn't want to have a solid gold house like Donald Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I never think about, like. It's only recently I've thought about. Oh yeah, TV would probably be a good thing to buy because that means everyone can kind of sit around it and all watch a movie together.
Yeah.
Or like, oh yeah, that like I don't know, PlayStation would probably be a good idea because I hate doing that shit myself.
Yeah.
But like they're good things for people to kind of share and do together.
Is that just a generational thing though?
Probably.
Do you think that changed? Again, it's like the whole idea of, even like with hip hop, probably not the best example, but kind of like the shift from, it's still there now, but like the bling bling era, like Nelly, all these characters would very much like be flaunting their car and their jewelry. Again, it's still kind of happening, but you have this shift of like the Kendrick Lamars and the J. Coles who just legitimately dress homeless. But then again, I feel like there's still such a big group of people like the Lil Baby, DaBaby, Migos and stuff. They're still all about flaunting their jewelry.
I think the reason that people would want to get all that money and kind of accumulate wealth in such a way that they can have a large land mass with a massive house.
Yeah.
It's because they're emulating a kingdom.
Yes.
Almost.
Yeah.
But I mean, but then again, this is coming from us. Like, what if you're kind of more inclined in that way and you move into those upper circles and whatever, and that actually matters to you? You're like, oh yeah, I need a space that's big enough where I can impress Barack
so you
Obama
can entertain. Yeah.
when he comes over.
But again, how the world is going to change when the top 1,000 wealthiest people in the world are all autistic. You could literally be in like a single bedroom apartment and you would just go in and they'll be like, nice place. Yes, it is. I've had my room there. We can have a conversation here. They will not care about having an extravagant place. And they'll probably all be in like a tiny room. They could be anywhere. You could literally have the meeting at McDonald's because it's next door to like Mark Zuckerberg's place.
That's true.
And that's going to change so many things.
You know, I was actually looking into how Islam spread across Africa.
Yeah.
Well, it's mainly like the northern part of Africa. It's like so there was like in West Africa.
Yeah.
They had their like kingdoms there, whatever. They were trading with people in the north and the east, which is like what Egypt, right near like the birthplace of Islam. So it just spread to there through trading goods and services and whatever.
Yeah.
And people migrating.
What
And
about
then,
his palm?
pardon?
What about his palm? And you know what he'd do with that? His palm. He'd probably jerk you off or something like that.
His palm spread across.
His palm spread across. Oh, but yeah.
But how his palm spread across, like all the way to West Africa,
Yeah.
was like through trade, right? So West Africans weren't trading directly with people in like the modern day Middle East. They were trading with the people in the north, in the east of Africa, who were trading with those people. So it's almost like, what's it called? Like,
word of mouth.
well, like it's like, say there's one cool person in the town, right? And it's like he's wearing like a snapback. It's the first time that person's wearing a snapback.
Yeah.
And then his close circle starts wearing snapbacks, and then the people that are friends with them, but they're not even friends with that original cool person.
Yes.
So West Africa, the kingdoms there, were like trading with people in the north, and they were like, well, it's a good idea for us to immigrate their gods with our gods.
Oh, in terms of just like, yeah, to impress them, kind of get on their
To
right
imp-
side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the north and the east, the kingdoms there were like more prestigious and held in higher regard. They were richer.
And
So
then,
then
so the
the-
Africans are like,
so then the
this
West is
Allah
like-
is very good. I like him a lot. He's a very nice man.
No, but even like they go to trade with people in the east,
Yeah.
and they're like, "What? You haven't heard about Muhammad?" They're like, "Oh no, yeah, we know Muhammad.
Yes. We know Muhammad's.
We know
he's-
Muhammad, yeah.
Yes. Oh, talk about him there. He's
He's like, "Oh wait.
it's
Is
like-
that your? I think our food's coming. I'm hungry. Should we go? Should
what
we go
about the Muhammad conversation?
we
Are we
can-
still go? We haven't finished that conversation yet.
Oh, they go and they
we-
start eating, and then he brings it up again. He's like, "What were we saying about Muhammad?" And,
I have to run to the bathroom. This is very spicy food.
just goes and sits down there, and reads the whole,
reads the Quran.
Reads the whole
That's where the
Quran.
whole idea of like reading the Bible is like, what? It's like you're reading the Quran in there. He's been in- What's he doing in there? It's like he's reading the Quran. And that's literally where that phrase came from. What? It's like he's reading the Bible in there.
Oh, that's the saying.
No, I don't even know. I imagine that's probably where it came from. Like, what are you doing reading the Bible in there? The guy like slammed shut. No, definitely not.
He just
I'm
goes
diarrhea.
Back, goes back out after knowing nothing. He's like, "Oh, that was very interesting. How? I love it. We love it over there in West.
Yeah.
In the West. You guys should come trade with us more. You should trade with us.
Why do you
more.
love it?
You know what else I learned was what was it? Maybe England or something was trading with Africa. It might not have been England, but they were trading gold. The Africans
Mate,
were
what's up with
trading-
these geezers' skin, mate? It looks like they've had. It look like the black puddings.
And even imagine like the African people like meeting the white people, and they'd be like, "You think that person's sick?
Yeah.
They look pale.
This
and
dude looks
young."
sick. Like he meets Tony Hawk for the first time. It's like sick. This
Yeah.
dude just did like some weird sort of kickflip on a board. It's very sick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wait, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the Africans were trading gold
Yeah.
for salt
Wow.
because they didn't have salt in like wetlands and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because you need salt like to survive.
And
Part
to
of your
make
diet.
my food taste better.
And they were trading gold, which is like
Yeah.
wow, which was already like a currency that was world renowned as being like
That's crazy.
valuable.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, give us some salt.
It's like,
You have any
Mariam,
salt?
I need some salt on my dinner. It's like, no, we don't
Yeah.
have any.
Very interesting.
That's wild.
It's just I love how like religion spreads like that. It's very interesting. Like
To appease like a certain group.
yeah.
Yeah,
And what
to
they
help
what
the
they had
trade.
before that was like or how a lot of like trading of religion went was who was it? The Norse people, what do you call them? No, the
Moors.
Nordic people.
Oh,
who were
Nordic
like-
people.
Who were what are
Vikings.
they called? Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who, when they invaded England, no. Actually, no. I'm getting mixed up. The Romans, who had a number of gods.
Oh, yeah.
When they invaded England, meshed their gods with the Celtic gods that
Yeah.
were already in England and Ireland,
Oh, right. Yeah.
and
yeah.
were like, "Oh, you have that god that means the sky. We have this god that means the sky," and we'll just like mesh them together
the same religion.
and just be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, we're meshing all our gods together. Some guy comes out in like a mesh tank top. It's like,
Hey,
hello.
It's me.
It's like, Bruno, this isn't the type of mesh we're talking about, mate. We're meshing our religions together.
I didn't even know what you guys are talking about.
He definitely means he thought we were meshing. He doesn't normally dress like that.
This deal's off.
He doesn't normally dress like that.
Some smells fishy.
It's definitely not.
How interesting is it to think these people go to different places and have to learn their language from scratch? Like, how would you communicate? You pick up this thing and you're like, rock. Someone else is like,
Tabra. The language, yeah. And it's like, okay.
just looking at each other, just like, can confused as hell. You look completely different. You sound completely different.
Yes.
Your food's completely different. Your literal language and the way you speak is completely different.
Let's see what our penises look like. They're the same?
I'd rather not.
I'd rather not.
But I am thinking, though, in like 1,200 years that you could come fuck my wife.
Because I can't get hard. It's nothing wrong with it. I just won't get hard. I don't know what it is. That's why I make all my friends wear mesh tank tops. That's the only real way I can get hard. It's kind of strange. I tried to make my wife wear a mesh tank top. Did nothing for me.
Did nothing for me.
Did nothing for me. It's only when I see a geezer in one.
Maybe it has something to do with the fact she's dead.
Or she's
The other guy's like, oh, no, I don't really think that works that well in this bit. The guy's like, no, she's dead.
She's dead. No, it'd be funny if she was like a man or something like that, or you were attracted to men, or
No, that's not how this
no,
bit's
it's
going.
not how it's going. She's dead.
Haxon.
But yeah,
What
I was even thinking like, I think there's more like invasion wise and kind of a little bit more forced upon them Islam in Western Africa.
It was
It was a little bit more forced upon.
I don't
know
think
if
so.
it was a choice.
I mean, from what I saw,
Because I know, like, I think there was a lot of invasions or something like that. Because again, there's this whole idea of like, you've got Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, all these Nation of Islam guys being like, the black man needs to return to Islam. It's
Yeah.
his rightful religion.
Yeah.
But that's not true. Like their normal
Really?
religion is kind of like a more voodoo and
yeah, it's
spiritual
like
based.
pagan gods.
Yeah,
100%.
and it's like believing in like little people and stuff like that.
But-
So I think that's kind of like a flawed idea, where if you wanted to return to your real religion, it would be like believing in little creatures that exist.
No, because I mean, I think it's woven into the text though. So what they're thinking is like this God has always been there and everything else. It's woven into like the, what do you call it? The Abrahamic religions. It's like genius almost. These other idols and whatever that have popped up are like diversions. This is the devil.
What's the devil?
The other like false prophets. So like these.
They're
so-
the
so-
religion they had previously prior to adopting Islam.
yes.
But I think that's only in terms of like Islam's beliefs.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It is, but that's like the wool being pulled over their eyes.
Yeah.
Like none of these religions are real,
Apart from the little people.
apart from Christianity. It's very interesting as well. Like
Apart from Scientology, ladies and gentlemen, and we will go into
What
that
else?
more in a different day.
So, have you seen the Louis Theroux in Scientology?
More like, how about Louis Theroux's throwing away his underwear
Underwear
because
because
he
he,
ejaculated
ejaculated
after
up.
seeing a man. Something like that.
Louis Therouxing
Throwing away.
any notion of being straight.
Louis.
What else?
But
What
yeah,
else?
I think there should be a new movement of black people wanting to go back to more of a voodoo religion.
But no, because the country is. I mean, not the country. The collection of countries at like the top of Africa are Islamic.
But their traditional religions, like in Western Africa,
But this is like
are more
hundreds
voodoo.
and hundreds
And
of
I
years
think they should
ago.
go back to that because it's almost a product of like invasion and kind of having a forced religion.
It wasn't. It was forced by the kingdoms that adopted that on their own terms because they were powerful. They had big armies and shit, and it was like trading of goods and services.
But still, to appease a different group, I don't think that's kind of. It wasn't necessarily beneficial. Oh, it was, but I guess their true religion, their true kind of religious ideology would have been based in voodooism. And if
But
they want to
you're-
kind of remain true to like what they've always been, and I feel like even kind of to practice kind of some of those more like pagan forms of religion is kind of frowned upon and you will get in trouble. I think that would have happened for a long period of time.
Yeah, for sure. So I agree with that. So you're saying enforced as in.
Kind of like, yeah, even in modern days, like I know that like even like my dad's from West Africa, so
Wait, what
He's,
country?
Guinea Conakry. So he would kind of like say he's a Muslim to kind of be on the good side of everyone, but in reality, he kind of believes in little people and magic and stuff like that.
He himself.
He himself,
Are you sure?
100%.
Well, that's even
He
crazy
really believes in that stuff.
That's even crazy that you have.
The only reason he says kind of he's Muslim is to kind of be on the good side with kind of the rest of the country.
But the thing is, you didn't have these people who were like, you didn't have people in the Middle East literally trying to take over these parts of the world.
I think they did. And again, I haven't actually honestly looked into it.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And again, you probably know more.
Well, total disclaimer, I mean, like, I'm pretty dumb. Like, I'm trying to learn about this stuff.
Yeah,
but
and again,
I could totally be
I'm
butchering it.
literally lazy. Like, I won't even look it up. But I'll be curious to know. But I assume there was some sort of, like, force behind it. We've been like, no,
Right.
we're kind of taking over this area. Because I know, like,
Well-
they were colonized by France.
Who was?
Yeah, Guinea.
Right.
And they all speak French for that reason.
When? Do you know?
And the women don't shave their armpits for that reason.
Yeah, good.
Good.
Good for you, sister.
Good for you, sis. Yes. Probably like 200 years ago or something, a few hundred years ago. But I always find it fascinating kind of looking
Okay.
into that. Like, pure Africa would be,
Is it on the coast? Guinea?
I think, maybe just in from the coast,
Okay.
I think. Yeah. But I always kind of assumed, even myself, like, oh, yeah, no, Islam, like Malcolm X, that's for the black man. But no, it's little people and magic. That's what the black man.
I actually worship Wee Man.
Yeah, what's his name? Jason or whatever. Jason something literally goes on a tour to Africa. But they believe in literally like killing albinos, and they probably would have done that forever.
What about you across like Catholicism in England and Ireland, and why Ireland's like the infighting there and everything?
Oh, yeah, in terms of, a tiny little bit. Again, learning about it in high school or whatever like that.
It's like the kingships of those areas, one in England, one in Scotland, one in Wales, one in Ireland. And then they like, we're the United Kingdom and we believe
Mate,
this.
we call it Wales because there's so many overweight Sheilas. Sheilas isn't even a British term, so it doesn't make sense.
What do they
Like,
call
so many overweight birds over here.
Oh, birds, yeah.
Birds. I think that's something we adopted, which is great. Mate, my bird's coming over. I think bird, does it sound better in
Bird.
Australian or
I like bird.
British? Bird. Who says it better? Mate, your bird.
English.
Or, mate, your bird.
English.
Got some birds coming over. Yeah, it does. Bird. It makes more sense, doesn't it? Anyway, yeah. So in terms of Catholicism spreading in England.
Oh, so like Ireland wanting to remain like Celtic,
Yeah.
and just kind of have those pagan gods, and then England taking over the church there. So it was like Henry the II or something like that was both the King of England
Henry
and
II because he had gay sex 2 times. And then it keeps getting passed down. Henry III has to have gay sex 3 times. Henry IV has it 4 times.
I'm Henry the 24th. I am.
I'm Henry 1248. And boy is my...
Boy, my arm's tired.
and I can't even stand up. Sorry. I've got to have this conversation sitting down.
What was it?
A guy just comes in a wheelchair with like a hole down the middle. It's like, hello, I'm Henry, 1,264,000.
Yeah. What was it? Oh yeah.
You just go to a hospital like it's a guy dying of AIDS. He's like, I'm Henry, 250,893.
But it's written in Roman numerals and they can't even.
I'm 13 years old. It's like, we need a better system. Oh, it's so much pain. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Henry the someone.
Oh, yeah. So he was like the Duke of
Duke of Ireland.
or something like that. The
Ooh,
Duke,
ta-da.
maybe not the Duke, something like that. But Yeah, and he was enforcing it there, but the Irish people were like, hell no. Hell no. And then they were trying to
Hell
make
no.
it like,
We're not daring your blaming, following your blaming rules. We are
not
we're
following your rules.
We are we is. What you said we is.
Yeah, part of the Catholic Church is that we like actually like molest small boys. Oh, I guess we are a Catholic after all. Yeah.
Hey, hear that? You hear
uh,
that, Jimmy? You're gonna
let's
get a little bit of action from the priest there. You're
Let's save this butchered history lesson for another week. We're nearly done. We're nearly done here. We saw Judas and the Black Messiah the other day. You heard about that? Have you heard about that?
Why you gotta be black though? I don't even know. No. It sounds kind of familiar.
It's about like Fred Hampton, who was like the leader of the Black Panther Party in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And like a rat that like infiltrates the whole place.
A rat.
Yeah, like a
Oh, like a rat is in the animal. What about Fred Clampton? Clamped, and he wears like nipple clamps.
what about Dead Hampton? He's just a dead guy.
What about
What about Led
getting-
Hampton? He just loves Led Zeppelin. and he's like the leader of the Black Panther Party.
Honestly, Led Zeppelin, they're sick. We
All right,
gotta
we
find a way.
understand that, but we need to do something to kind of like liberate the black people in
Dude,
Chicago.
Dude, put it on. Put it on. Yeah, we've heard it.
You need to hear. You need to liberate black people. How about you listen to Black Dog by Led Zeppelin? It's off Led Zeppelin too. Great album, great song. Look, man. I think we need to find a new leader. Of this.
What about, how about we hire Getting Head Hampton, but he's just receiving fellatio.
What about
so
Fred
he's,
Panston? And
he's
always
pantsing everyone.
and he's always got his pants down whenever you go and talk to him. You're like, Fred, blah 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 blah. You're talking
Fred.
to him, and then you like
He
turn your
turns
back
around.
to go do something, turn back around, his pants are down.
His bird's out.
Oh, Fred.
What?
Fred.
Dampton. He's always damp. He's like a woman. He's like has a wet vagina and he's pretending to be a guy. So no, I just wet myself. That's all.
Fred hands down his pants because he's watching Blue Balls Drag Race.
Fred Lampton. He like has to have a lamp on at night because he's scared of the dark, and his father called himself the Dark.
Well, maybe we should call it there, man. I got to take a waz.
Oh, there you got to get a wazzy.
Feed.
What are we gonna leave these people with?
I'm glad we waited for that.
Yeah, I'm glad we waited for that as well.
Yeah, well, next week's going
What
to
about
be...
Fred Tantrum? He's like a little kid who keeps on tantruming.
No,
No.
we need to fight for black rights.
It's like, okay.
What about Louis the Turd?
What about Louis the Bird? I think, I've got a problem with Louis here. I think it's a bird. Hello, I'm Louis.
But he's like a what? Parrot? Can they talk back to you? He's like a parrot, so he just says the same thing back to you. I think everyone should have gay sex. What do you think, my lord? Gay sex. He said it.
He said it. We've all got to have it. Sorry.
Now, who's first? All right, yeah, next week's going to
Okay,
be a good
peace.
app. We're going to have, Lockie on. We're going to have a guest on.
Mocky.
We're going to have a very funny guest on, so tune
Yeah,
in.
he doesn't want his name said, but we're going to say it anyway. So
You know what I mean?
he said all lives matter. Peace.